Hello, this will be a quick lecture on vampires, shadow vampires, and pricks that play vampires, vampirologists, and vampires that do not burn on the sun, nor do they look gothy at all, because they are not lifestylers at all, and they mold into the crowd, like they should. So, now, as an explanation of the occult phenomena of the Mars-Saturnian facapery, let us begin with Yes. The occult anatomy of the Dragon vampire, mapping the architecture of the cenotaph, living cenotaph, the caps and the draconian currents of the shadow. What is a dracon? As we know from Greco-Roman times, the ophitic currents were worshipped, not necessarily the chthonic ones, because we have two serpent currents. One is celestial ionic, the other one is chthonic. If you wonder how they enwing the soul, it is because of the dracon echogenetic imprints from the reptiles towards the mammals. So, Dragon is essentially a god to vampires. They don't like that at all, but that's how it is. So, a vampire is the twilight shadow. It is the shadow of the person. What do I mean as a shadow? Is the shadow that is casting when you put some light on an object? No, it's a shadow, so much darker than you imagine. The dead are amongst the shadows, the demons amongst the shadows. The black earth is littered with demonic forces. It looks a bit like on the black metal album cover. Oh, I'm betraying secrets. Secrets of idiots that have no idea about what I'm talking about. So, if somebody is very secretive and thinks he will be burned at the stakes if he will betray such secrets in modern days, he's a moron. So, the caps, the secret center of unmanifest light. Once you, let's say, not only activate your ophitic energies up to the crown and Shumanadi, you combine the red, blue drops and the black Kundalini drop in order to achieve an orgasmic ecstatic flow. It's something like some nuns, they have ecstasy, but it doesn't work that way. The ecstatic flow means that you sublimate your ethereal body into a golden body and then dispatch it to the land of gods. So the cups is in the stars, and it's a diamond that you are cooperating with in order to control your cenotaph, your body, your shadow, your soul, if you have one. So the cenotaph is the empty tomb. As such, I am a cenotaph because I sublimated myself. So I may mediumize plenty of spirits, but I'm very strong-willed. My diamond is here, linked with the caps. So let's move further. The ancient Kem. This is a bit Typhonian here, so this is just one aspect of the Anubisiac Scythian mysteries. So let's not get into that because it will get more befuddled rather than explanatory. However, let's see, the caps is in the coup, not the coup in the caps. The coup, the cenotaph, the body, the jet. The caps is the star above that you sublimated and dispatched to these terror regions. It's a spirit, not a star per se. We don't become large, massive, great stars, but particles of it. Let's say the sublimation of the conscious daimon, spirit, genius, Juno, whatever. So, the physical garment that we all wear, as you can see, and I co-wear it with others. I'm a host in my body, and the legions walk with me. I can say my name is Legion, but that would kind of confuse Judeo-Christian idiots. As we know, the truth, the mysteries are not within Judeo-Christianity. They are complete amateurs and fucking idiots. In exorcisms, in banishments, in any form of evocation and invocation, they just fuck things up for everyone. It's a metaphysical catastrophe, but we'll return to it in the other lecture. So, we have the Eye of Shiva. The Visuddha, or the Logos, after submersion in the abyss, you rebuild yourself in order to speak, and hence the speech flows, unless it's parasited upon distributed clones, and then you have to listen to idiots, unfortunately. I had some wise words to say once. Unfortunately, they were politically and religiously incompatible with what the main narration wanted to bullshit you in, so that's what happened. The palms, the receptors, either left or right, lunar here, solar here, or the other way around. That is depending on the embryonic position and the magnetic polarities. That is also influencing lateralization, left or right. It's still in the embryo. So the root and the above of the sleeping variant snake Muladhara. One warning: if you have your block around this place and you engage in sexual activities, masturbation, or anything like that, you just invite succubba, you create flesh demons and other nasty folk. So let's move on to the receptive eye, ajna. It's not some pineal gland or some new agers like to unoccultedly try to locate it. This is more like this neuro bio yogic wiring is interpreting the consciousness that transforms. That means that you transform it via the body, via the neuro spiritual wiring, then you rectify it and dispatch it to the world of the gods. And afterwards, your brain, your senses, and your organism interprets it backwards. So, second sight is a feedback mechanism. Your consciousness is transformed, and your brain interprets, and you can see many things, many. The other part is that memory, hippocamp, short-term memory, long-term memory, maybe non-local. You may build a temple and secure your memories elsewhere. That's why when some bastards want to wipe out your memory clean, that doesn't happen. And they wonder what the fuck. So that's another part. Memory, non-local. Memory is formed locally, but it may be non-local if sublimated and saved elsewhere. The palms. So the K, the virile energy, bioelectromagnet is sublimated and transposed into the virelia. So what can you do with it? It improves your health, makes you regenerate. You can sometimes create discharges and hit ballistically with this energy. Very charged, ionotropic environment during a storm, so you can shoot a lightning or provoke a lightning. It's called seeding the storm, like ancient witches. You seeded the storm. Da 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 da. Don't do it at home and don't ask anyone to do it for you. It works in solitude. Hence, you don't present your skills officially to anyone. Why? Because they're unverifiable? Or because you'll be an idiot betraying yourself and selling your ass for some kind of audacious bullshit fames. People go after you and destroy your life. We don't need that, right? So cold furnace, Muladhara. This is neuromuscular and it is related to specific yogic techniques that can awaken the snake, the restrictions, constrictions, and all that, all that. However, there may be a divine intervention. They may modify in vivo your neural output. For example, create that dragon spine, dragon brain in order to achieve a greater output. Right. So the mechanics of astral extraction when someone is a vampy that is a sanguinarian, for example, and prefers to extract energy from blood directly from young females, from their hearts, from the blood, for example, riding subway and see, oh, this female, good quality blood, young blood. So you extract the blood like a monster and you kind of reinforce yourself. Do we have real punks, the vampires? Well, we have astral fungus, like retractable needles we can feel. However, unfortunately, they're not physical because that would be kind of annoying when you eat a sandwich and all of a sudden your hand gets and brushing the teeth would be that would be fucked up. Okay, so mythological precedent. Vampires are not only within Judeo-Christian ideas, they're in Hinduism, Japan, and so on. What's the root thing of vampires? Some shamans in the ancient past like to combine the shadow souls, which we previously mentioned in this economy of animals, predatory nocturnal animals, bats, tigers, snakes, vipers, spiders, and mix it with their own system that had interpreting into the biopsychological layer, or the Ulfhedna, for example, in the Norse Berserkergang, shadow wolf souls of mortal beings mixed. Bingo, you have a pretty bloody, cruel person that is ready for battle and destruction. Okay, so magical power or just. Now, what happens to us when we die? Well, if you burn us, throw us into acid, we survive. It's better to have a physical cenotaph because then we can connect better. Nokia connecting people, right? So that was an unpaid for advert. That's just bullshit. So even if we don't have a physical cenotaph or a mummy or a rotten corpse in the grave, uh, we are free to go whenever we please as shadows. So the histories of putting things in the corpse's cadaver's mouth, or piercing its heart, or bloated corpse, it just pisses off the shadow vamps. Shadow vamps are a subclass of a large bestiary of the shadow realms. So, Uncle's words of the cenotaph. Of course, that's the idea of locking them up, but that doesn't work that much. Corpse can't establish that physical binding. That's the traditional method of trying to bind us. It doesn't work. So, there are some ideas here, some, let's say, mythological examples. And this, I don't like to use the idea of the Tree of Life. It's the Sumerian Tree of Life, the Golden Ankh, Solar, the Black Ankh, Chthonic. So this is a build-up of a system of channels occulted within your body. You work as let's say, kernel for those portals, and they transform you and make it happen. So this is that. You can walk on both sides, so you can walk both in the shadow and in the delights of the golden yarrow, if you're lucky. Otherwise, you walk in the shadows, which is a form of immortalization beyond samsara. So it's kind of escaping life, death, but being beyond it. It's not a true immortality, it's rather half decaying state. No, nobody wants to be trapped with this mind. I wouldn't like to be trapped in this mind in a decaying state because that would be complete insanity. So it's better to modularize the mind, fix it, and create a more divine solution. I never understood people who, after death, want to go to God and integrate himself with it. That's total bullshit because to reach parinirvana, that's almost impossibility in modern times. Most likely, you end up in with your animal human soul in Russian roulette, wherever the hell it throws you into. Remember, mortal solids are tiny. Better refine them to something powerful, greater. So, in the end, after you drop dead, you have a unified entity, the Dracon Vapa, represents an advanced etheric state. So, when I drop dead, ha, I was wanted to do that. Never mind. So, when I drop dead, I survive. Simple. And watch all my enemies die. That's not very nice, I know, but that's how it works. Thank you.